at the Sugar Creek Art Room where Mr. Fralick teaches. We're going to...
Hello, everyone. My name is Artie, and this guy here is Mr. Fralick.
All right.
How's everybody today?
I think our TAB Institute attendees are going to really enjoy this treat. Oh,
How are you feeling?
This?
Are you feeling happy, tired, sad?
Right
I like
now,
to have the kids talk about themselves and think about how they're feeling right now. So when they come in.
So now, would they answer you in the hallway if you asked them that question?
Some do. It's like check in with them to make sure they're doing okay. Let's
check out your room, because whenever somebody asks me about Tab Elementary, I always say, well, the room is special, and here's the name of an art teacher who's got one of the most awesome rooms around. His name is Clark Fralick.
The room is special, and it's always been a work in progress. But as Lisa Murphy, a play-based advocate, says, that you need to make sure that you're controlling the environment and not the child. So it's been a lot of time looking at and tweaking what's happening in the studio, so I don't have to deal with all the extra behaviors that can be alleviated just by cleaning up the studio or arranging things just a little different.
This room has evolved over the years, and I know there's so many things in here that are stimulating for children, or calming for that matter. How long do you think your room has evolved to the point that you have it now? I mean, obviously it's been evolving for a long time.
It's still evolving, yes. As I learn more, I keep looking at and tweaking, seeing how things, watching kids work, seeing how they work with each other, and if there's an obstacle or something that is a problem, we'll address it. And typically something in the, for example, when I first started TAB, I used to have all the materials out. This is the drawing center. And had everything out on the counters. But as I learned through observation and things, I can put things in drawers that kids will have access to.
Oh, these are neat. Rubbing textural.
Texture plates, we have stencils. And I don't typically have words when I'll try to have pictures of what's in the drawers.
Oh, that's cool.
Because kids, for the most part, my younger kids aren't readers. So the words mean nothing to them. The older kids see them, but by the time they're reading, they know where everything is anyways. So to me, the text becomes superfluous.
You've got games down in here and more kinds of manipulatives, building blocks.
Yep. Extra blocks there. In case we run out, we've got plenty over in the architecture center.
And you've got...
Right here is... this is a stool. We have a couple little people with us, and they need stools sometimes to access the materials.
Gotcha.
So they know where typically one of these is over in the painting area. But they know where these are, so they can get them out.
How wonderful. And so all the materials, you've got them tucked away in places the kids eventually learn where they can locate things that they need.
Right. And that's another thing. I don't have a lot of menus because, again, for the most part, kids didn't interact very well with them, and because where they are on the cabinets, they're out of their line of sight for the most part, so they ignore them. So what I did is put these clipboards up. And now when kids want to display their work, we just put it up on. And I just have an ever-evolving gallery
So the clipboards can not just provide a place to put informational signage, but also double as a gallery.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Look at all the, okay, you've got stapler, skizzies, more skizzies. Oh, those are good ones. Rulers, hole punch, glue sticks, books, paper,
We have access to paper.
more drawing materials here. Whoops.
Yeah. Those are like highlighters, erasers.
Uh-huh.
Those are going to be where the Sharpies are.
Uh-huh.
Very popular. Also another thing that I want to point out is everything in the cabinets is accessible to the kids.
Right.
That was always something that was a stress point for me.
Uh-huh.
Is when kids would go through. I mean, kids are naturally curious,
Uh-huh.
so they want to see what's in the cabinets.
All these wonderful colored pencils, sharpeners, more paper and materials.
I just removed everything out, so anything that's in there they have access to.
Gotcha.
And we'll talk about that. It's like what's in this cabinet? Except for this is my aquarium stuff.
Uh-huh.
Artist statements, they're always here. When we talk about those mirrors, we have pencil sharpeners,
Uh-huh.
more mirrors.
Is this an electron microscope?
Well, it's part of my curiosity. Kids are always curious, so we have a microscope. Because a lot of times we look at things up close, we like to change perspectives. In this cabinet we have more optical things.
Uh-huh.
Obviously we have a rainbow catcher here, but the prism fell out.
Uh-oh.
So I have to fix it. But, we talk about where rainbows come from. And then we have loops, more loops, kaleidoscopes.
No, oh, nice.
I don't know if you can see in there.
Whoa! Psychedelic.
Faceted lens.
Nice.
So the kids, they can look in there.
Inspirational. It's like surprise and discovery.
Origami paper in here.
Ooh.
More tools, paper bags, foil.
Wow. So if I want to do some origami folding, I just get my paper in here and I can do and I've got books for reference. Now, what is in these white containers right here? And why would you put something in a white container like
These
that?
are just yarn.
Nice.
Trying to give kids access to as much materials.
See, I've got like giant monsters of yarn. Like that prevents like the yarn monster from forming.
You think so. But anybody who works with young kids understands that kids will reveal the weakest part of anything. So
Yes.
I used to have Pringles cans, but then again, they just pulled the lids off. It would get knotted up, so that didn't work. So now I went to hand sanitizer containers.
You've got looms here available for them if they decide they want to use a loom.
Got looms down there, my backup yarn just in case, and then up here we'll have paper for paper weaving. We have examples of things that we look at throughout the year.
Nice. So would you consider this part of the room where you have drawing and optical and tactile elements available for them, is this a popular part of the room?
Yeah, really popular drawing. Here's the research station.
Uh-huh.
So kids can come in here and they can grab a book. Very popular book, Pokemon and Labyrinth.
Pokemon. And so also up in the room, we've got other objects of inspiration and these more signage. You are the artist.
Yeah.
above. And you painted your room. How many times have you painted your room, do you think?
Once.
Once.
I mean, I put the general thing down first, and then I added things throughout the year. The things that are important, what do artists do? This is a
Yes.
studio, and you are an artist.
What?
Those are the things that are important. Kids see and be curious.
Uh-huh.
Then there's some book characters I put around.
Uh-huh.
Having to deal with, Harold and Purple Cream.
Uh-huh.
Who's always using his imagination. This area has evolved a lot. I used to have a lot of play things here,
Uh-huh.
but I replaced it with kind of more curiosity things that kids can touch.
Yes.
Kids are so tactile, they want to touch. You know what geodes are, and these things change throughout the year. Sometimes things go missing, but it's not that big of a deal.
Uh-huh.
Buddha board. You ever used a Buddha board?
Let's take a look over at your paint center. Let's see how your paint center is set up, and then we'll visit your.
So this is kind of the wet side of the room.
Uh-huh.
So I have like clay over there and paints and printmaking. More the messier side.
Uh-huh.
Because we have the sinks right here. We've got our cake tippers that we use.
Uh-huh.
On in the unit. Kids back in there. Liquid tipper paints, palettes, variety of brushes here, toothbrushes, and that we use for stenciling or any other way that the kids want.
I know at one point you were teaching K6. Now your grade levels are
K-4.
K4. So a slight adjustment in material.
Slight adjustment, you have to move, I don't do linoleum cutting anymore, things like that.
Uh-huh.
There are other ways to introduce printmaking. Again, aprons here. Kids' aprons are always available.
Uh-huh.
Paper right here.
Nice.
So get it. Marble painting.
Oh, that's a big deal. Marble
You
painting.
have free access to that.
A lot of opportunities for almost any kind of art activity.
Mono printing plates for mono painting.
Over here, I know you walk by your ceramic area a little bit. You've got a whole room back there devoted to ceramics and ceramic access. They've got students have access to clay and materials and tools, different kinds of materials in there, glazes.
This is the plasticine clay.
Ah.
The kids like to. I let the younger kids use this.
Uh-huh.
It really builds their fine motor skills.
Yes.
And it's a little hard to make because it hasn't been used in a while.
Uh-huh.
Then we get out the regular clay.
Uh-huh. Let's take a look over here at your table setup. You've got drawing materials out on the tables. And would the kids start at the table for a 5-minute lesson, do you think?
Well, it depends. Usually we come in
Uh-huh.
and I can do a 5-minute lesson with them sitting at the table.
Uh-huh.
I can do with the younger kids, I can have them sitting on a rug.
Uh-huh.
So it's flexible, just to see how it's going.
Uh-huh.
But we usually, typically do a 5-minute demo. If I'm sharing an artist on the TV,
Uh-huh.
they don't have to be up front. They can see it from the tables. If I'm doing a demonstration in painting, I might have them come stand around here.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with drawing. I can also have them sit at the tables and project it to the screen.
Gotcha.
If I want them to see something.
Now, you have this really awesome teaching station over here. What kinds of technology do you have going on over
Well,
there?
right now it's set up for Institute. I normally don't have my secondary monitor, my ring light, but it's usually just my laptop and journal,
Uh-huh.
some pencils, that's about it.
You've got a bunch of storage areas here, your cabinet space. Nice. Oh, look at that.
Each level has their own table. And depending on our schedule, this is where I would keep three-dimensional things.
Uh-huh.
And they're working on the
Right.
process. And so I could, last year we had a grade level class each day, so I can have them on Wednesday, everyone who worked on Wednesday. But normally it's by grade level.
Right.
Store their work on here, by their shelves.
Uh-huh.
Which this is really nice, kindergarten through fourth grade.
Now over here you've got some more items. I notice this is like an invention center over here, right?
This is probably one of the most popular centers, the cardboard area.
Uh-huh.
Most kids, I don't use the hot glue guns with my littler kids.
Uh-huh.
We start in second grade. We teach them how to use the hot glue guns, even though they're not that hot. These particular brand of sheer bonder hot glue guns don't get very hot.
Uh-huh.
But starting with second grade, we start using the hot glue and scissors. Keep the tools pretty simple.
Skizzies and low temp hot glue guns.
Yeah.
And will you cut their cardboard up for them sometimes?
I usually cut it up and it's in that little container.
So it stays in small, manageable chunks.
Yeah, and then we also use craft sticks.
Gotcha.
We go through a ton of these. Kids find all different ways of using them.
Uh-huh.
And we show them how to break with a wire cutter.
Right, nice.
So they get a clean edge for that.
Nice. And you've got an inspirational piece over here and another gallery and an instructional board over here with your big monitor. Now what's this space over here? You've got shelving here and
these are blocks, architecture. Yep. Engineered capital blocks there. Magnet tiles, which are very popular. Small colored blocks. Just a variety. One of these has Legos.
How popular is this space?
This is great. And then we have the larger blocks as well. So this is probably one of the more popular areas with the younger kids. Older kids still use it, but they do have the freedom to do it if they want to.
Wow.
It's a very communicative area. Kids working together. Then we have our digital area for documenting work and for kid wants to access the internet for how to draw.
Uh-huh.
They can use that.
Nice.
iPads.
We're going to have to wrap this.
One more thing to
Okay,
show.
yeah. I was going to ask you, what else?
As we come back, we have this. Now, this area right here,
Uh-huh.
these are all books kids can access.
Gotcha.
So it becomes, a reading corner.
Nice.
They just want to sit down and pick up a book. They want to read about what these are. Or I can sit down with my younger kids and this can be our reading area.
Uh-huh.
Having kids access to all these books, it encourages inspiration, it encourages reading. The Tab Studio isn't all about art. It's about the child.
Right.
And designing it for the child is key.
Clark Fralick, thank you for inviting us into your room. We really appreciate it a lot. We'll see you at the Tab Institute. See you then.
All right.
Bye-bye.